Michael Phelps, the most decorated athlete in Olympic history, 22 medals overall, 18 gold. So I guess his coach, Bob Bowman, is the most decorated coach in Olympic history, and he joins us live back home in Baltimore. Thanks for joining us today, Bob.
Glad to be here, Glenn.
Let me ask you, first of all, I guess congratulations is in order for another phenomenal Olympics. But unlike Michael Phelps, we're congratulating him on a phenomenal career because he's calling it quits right now. What do you do?
Well, I'm going to keep coaching. Obviously, that's kind of what I do. But I'm going to take a little break for a year and sort of regroup. It's been a long run with Michael, so I'm looking forward to a little time off.
When did you first meet this kid, and when did you get the feeling that you had something special?
I met Michael in 1996 when he was 10 years old, but I didn't really start coaching him until he was 11, about a year later. And it was apparent right from the start that he had something special, that he had some attributes that the other swimmers really didn't have.
How do you stay with somebody that long? I mean, we see it all the time. Coaches are fired or players are. How did the relationship last all of these years? Because there had to be some moments, right?
Oh, plenty of moments. I think we stayed together because he always got the results. But the reason we got the results is I think we've always been 100% honest with each other at all times. That may mean butting heads, but I think we've always both laid our cards on the table, so there was never any doubt as to where we stood at any given time. And I think that's what kept us together so long.
I was going to ask you, how does it work? You know, we see that coaches in professional sports are fired, and sometimes players can get them fired. But in this case, I guess like a golfer, you're a coach of an individual athlete. Can he just one day say, hey, coach, you're fired, you're out of here, I'm moving on?
Yes, he can. Happens all the time.
So you can't necessarily tell him certain things. You have to have some type of middle ground with that relationship in which you're both on the same page, I would think.
Well, yes, but, one of the things I think, one of the reasons he stayed is that he trusted my judgment, and I never really ever compromised what I thought was the right thing to do because I was afraid that he would go. I really didn't. So I think that was a special part of this whole thing.
I was fascinated by his frankness, his candor in the interviews he did, talking about the difference of the training of these last 4 years with you versus the 4 years leading up to Beijing and the results of it. He even admitted that his late touch the other day, which earned him silver instead of gold, was because he was a little laissez-faire in the practice of it. How different was the training, and how different was his approach of what he needed at this time in his life?
Very different, and his approach was really different. It's been well documented. He had some motivational issues, which I completely understand. But what happened was he just really missed the consistency in practice. And when you don't work on things in a consistent manner, then you get results like you got in that 200 fly finish. Things kind of jump up and surprise you.
He used to sneak out of the pool. He was telling Bob Costas the other day, and he'd try to skip weightlifting or whatever. How did you get him back? When he did things like that and he went off course, what was the tactic that you used to get him back on track?
Well, we closed off his escape route, and I had my strength coach meet him every day and escort him to the weight room. So that was how we took care of that. But really, whenever he got pretty far away, I'd try to get him redirected back onto his goals and what he wanted to accomplish, and that usually brought him back.
For you, is it very special when he recognizes you, when he gets on an interview and he talks about the great influence that you have been, not only as a coach, but on his entire life? Oh,
it's incredibly special, and I think that, these Olympics, while they may have been different from a performance, level standpoint, I couldn't have been prouder of the way he handled himself and the way that he displayed sportsmanship and, perseverance through some difficult times in the early part of the meet. So I'm very proud of him as a person.
Has he given you one of these medals yet?
No, he keeps those all together somewhere. I don't need a medal. I've gotten plenty of satisfaction from what he's done.
So I keep on reading that he eats these massive meals of like 12,000 calories or whatever. When you go to a restaurant with him, you seem like a pretty fit guy.
Yeah.
What do you do when he's having 5 plates in front of him?
Well, I think that's been a little bit exaggerated, but it is hard. One of the hardest things for coaches on these meets is that basically all you do, the kids are either eating or swimming. So you have to watch it.
What does he do now that he's not? He doesn't. He claimed the other day he doesn't even want to get into a pool. Maybe on a beach somewhere he'll jump into the ocean. Wants to go into a cage down with diving for sharks or whatever. He can't continue to eat the way he's eating right now, right?
Oh, no way. And he'll make adjustments to that, I'm sure. He's going to be doing some exercising. He likes to do things out of the pool, so he'll be doing some running or weightlifting or stuff like that. He'll be active. Is
he definitely done? Do you think this is it?
I do think that's it, yeah.
You think there's no chance that 2 years from now you get a phone call late at night, hey, Bob, I'm getting the itch. Rio's right around the corner. I think I might want to do this.
If he does, I'm going to encourage him to think again. But I honestly don't. I think that he feels like he's had a great run. He's achieved all of the goals he's had, and I'm not sure there's much more he can do in swimming. So you don't think he should come back at all then? No, I really don't. I think he's had a wonderful career. Do you think he's the type, and you know him better than anybody, it's amazing when you look at a guy, he's 27 years of age, and he's accomplished all of this in sports. We talk about athletes at 35, 40 having difficulty retiring. He can't competitively swim. He can do a lot of things. There's no question. He can do multiple things in his life. Is he the type of guy that will be satisfied, will be able to move on to whatever the next career is? I do think he will be, yeah. He's got a lot of other interests, and we're still going to be involved in swimming. We're really now in the early stages of Michael Phelps Swim School, which we're hoping to make a global enterprise and bring the sport of swimming to millions of people. So he's very interested in that, and I'm sure he'll put a lot of energy into that. Sounds like you'll be busy with that as well. I will. Hey, Bob, it was great talking to you. And again, congratulations. A phenomenal career with Michael Phelps and continued success down the road. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Thank you. That's Bob Bowman, the coach for Michael Phelps.